Last year, one company booked more than $200 million from coffee that nobody ever drank. Not spilled, not left on the counter, coffee that people paid for in advance and simply never came back to claim. That company is Starbucks. And once you see how it did that, you will realize Starbucks is really a bank that happens to sell lattes. And right now, about 1 in 3 of you is holding a gift card you completely forgot about, which is exactly what they are counting on. Because a gift card is the only product on earth where you not using it is the best possible outcome for the company that sold it. The money you load and never spend has a quiet name, and companies book it as almost pure profit. Whether it is a store card, a coffee app, or a prepaid Visa, anywhere in the world, this is the same trick. Here is how your forgotten money becomes their earnings. Start with what happens the moment you buy one. You hand over $50 and it feels like you spent it. The store does not see it that way. To them, that $50 is not a sale. It is a loan, an interest-free loan from you to them, and they get to hold your cash until the day you finally come back. If that sounds familiar, it is the float, the same trick the banks run, except this time you volunteered. On their own books, your $50 is not even revenue yet. It is a liability, money they still owe you in coffee or in shoes. And here is where it turns. Some of that money you are never coming back for. Maybe you lose the card. Maybe there is $3.47 left. Just enough to feel wasteful and too little to bother with. So it rides in your wallet for 2 years and quietly dies. Maybe you gave it as a gift and the person smiled, said thank you, and never spent a cent. That leftover money has a name. It is called breakage. And across hundreds of billions of dollars in gift cards, just a few cents on every dollar never comes back, which adds up to billions a year that people paid for and never received. Now here is the accounting trick that makes it beautiful for them. You would think a company has to wait until a card is clearly dead and gone before it can call your money its own. It doesn't. There is a rule that lets them count that money early. From years of history, a company knows almost exactly what fraction of cars will never be redeemed. So every time someone else buys a coffee, the company also books a matching slice of the forgotten money as profit. Right now, in advance. Your lost card never has to expire. Somebody else's latte is enough to turn your forgotten balance into their earnings. And this is not a theory. It is in the public filings, in black and white. Starbucks, at any given moment, is holding around $1.8 billion of its customers' loaded, unspent money. And in a single year, the balance his customers simply never came back for added up to more than $200 million, booked straight onto the top line as revenue. Not from selling more coffee, from coffee you already paid for and never drank. Now to be exact, because precision is the only thing this channel sells. Nobody here is breaking the law. It is all disclosed and there are real protections. In the US, a law from 2009 banned gift cards from expiring for at least 5 years and killed most of those old monthly fees that used to eat a card alive. So the worst version of this is mostly gone. But watch what happens to your forgotten balance. In some states, if it sits unclaimed long enough, the company is not even allowed to keep it. It has to hand your money to the state, where you can often still claim it back years later. In other states, there is no such rule, and the balance is simply the company's to book as profit. Same forgotten $12, and whether it becomes the state's or the company's depends entirely on which line on a map you happen to buy it. The protections are real, but they are a patchwork, and underneath them, the machine runs the same everywhere. Forgetting always pays someone. The only question is who. And here is the part that decides who pays the most. Breakage does not fall evenly. It lands hardest on the gift givers, who buy a card for someone who never fully spends it, on the tiny leftover balances too small to bother with. and on the forgetful, which, sooner or later, is every one of us. Nobody singled you out. It is just that a business where forgetting equals profit will always earn the most from the people most likely to forget. So sit with what that actually means. Every other product a company sells, it needs you to use, or you will never buy it again. The gift card is the one product on the shelf where you're not using it is the single best thing that can happen to them. Forgetting is not a flaw in the gift card. Forgetting is the product. So that $50 card in your kitchen drawer is two things at once. It is an interest-free loan you handed a company, and it is a bet they are quietly hoping you lose. Not a scam, not illegal, just the one corner of the store where the best possible outcome for them is that you do nothing at all. That is who gets your money. If you want the next leak, that is what Subscribe is for. One a week. Because there is another product built entirely around you forgetting, except this one does not wait for you to lose a card. It reaches into your account every single month, automatically, for something you meant to cancel months ago. That is next.